Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, today we are going to talk about one of the aspects of taqwa in our religion, in Islam. And keep in mind that this is a month of taqwa. This is a month of Ramadan, and in the very start of our reminder sessions, we discussed that in the Quran, where Allah has explained the month of Ramadan, Allah ended the verse by saying, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you can attain taqwa. So this shows that it's really good that you do lots of ibadah, lots of worship, lots of nafil prayers and fasting and zikr and tasbih and everything. But it is very important that in the condition in which you enter this month of Ramadan, you don't leave the month and be in the same exact state. You have to raise your level in taqwa, in piety, and becoming more righteous. So today we're going to talk about one such aspect, practical thing which can help you attain more taqwa and which can get rid of any bad habits that you have. This is the topic of curiosity. This Ramadan, please understand that peeping into somebody's houses or into somebody's rooms or trying to listen to somebody's conversations are grave sins in Islam. These are not just bad manners, but they are supposed to be taken as sins in our religion. So the first hadith is narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. He reported that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if a man looks into your house without your permission and you throw a stone at him and injure his eye, you will not be blamed. Similar hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned even that if I would see somebody peeping into somebody's house, I would want to use my stick, my staff, and gouge his eye out of his face. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was generally very soft-hearted person, and his words were also very kind and soft. Usually he would not use very strict words, but this hadith itself shows how any kind of curiosity into wanting to look into other people's house, even if their doors are open. So guarding your eyes does not only mean to guard between men and women and not to look at the person from the other gender. It also means to avoid looking at things that you're not supposed to look. You're not supposed to, even if the people's doors are open. Sometimes we're living in apartment buildings, the door is open. You're supposed to guard your eyes and walk and focus on where you're supposed to go, not look here and there, even within your house. If you're passing by your mother-in-law or daughter-in-law's room or your sister-in-law's room or anyone's room, you're supposed to not look here and there and what you see inside. You're supposed to focus, mind your own business, basically, not even like unintentionally looking. You are supposed to be so focused on the idea, on understanding that curiosity is a sin, that by mistake also you should not look here and there. If you're sitting beside somebody, they're trying to find something from their handbag and you're constantly looking there. What are the other contents in the bag? Sometimes intentionally, sometimes without any intention. But try to be very mindful that I'm going to guard my eyes. I'm going to control my eyes where they go. You're not supposed to look at what your neighbors are doing and who is coming in and who are the guests and what kind of car they bought and why are they buying these things and what kind of clothes they're buying. Even when you're sitting in a party and somebody else enters after you, sometimes we check out completely from top to bottom, and it also makes the other person uncomfortable. And again, this is a sin to stare at somebody while taking a walk. If you are sitting on the bench and people are walking, if you have the habit of looking at the people, checking them out from head to toe, please stop doing that. This is a sin, and you have to also seek forgiveness if you've done this before, and also make sure that you try to get rid of this sin from your personality. Another similar hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, whoever listens to the people's conversation without their permission will have molten lead poured into his ears on the day of judgment. So this is a similar hadith on the topic of curiosity. Why do we want to eavesdrop? And why do we want to put our ears on the door or behind the curtain, or if we think that they don't know we are listening? So we have to be very careful. We have to make sure that we control our ears, our eyes, and what do we do with them. Okay, inshallah.